We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Q&A session, sponsored by the news guy, Mr. Randy Roday, 38 Digital Market. The link is below. Awesome service, great deliverable, and all that kind of good stuff. So check it out if you haven't already. But first session of the year. So make sure it's a good one. Put your questions in the live chat. We will answer as many of them as we possibly can. Can't promise to answer everything, but we'll try our best.
Try our best.
And you're the first person to comment, Chris.
Yep, I was in there quick.
First person of the year.
New year.
Gareth Boyd. Woohoo. And Happy New Year, Gareth, to you as well, mate. Honey, good to see you. Fred Hunter, good to see you. And Mr. Muzzy, sup chaps. Mr. Darren Muzzy doesn't miss a session. But whilst we're waiting, people asking, we've got more. Rob Falco, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Fred. From Pakistan, Fred is from. So, yeah, ask your questions. But whilst we're waiting on the questions, Chris, what happened over Christmas and New Year? You continued to work, am I right?
I did continue to work. Oh, yeah.
We were laughing. I was with Kazra and Gary Wilson, and we were talking about Kazra's starting out with the whole YouTube thing. And I'm like, we're laughing at you doing them at like 3 a.m., 5 a.m., fucking whenever. I'm like, it's fucking a hard grind. And we had a quick look and we're like, fuck, Chris is still doing it through Christmas and New Year. Still going relentless, not even taking Christmas off. So, yeah, you look like you were a busy man.
It's been very busy, but it's a funny thing. The harder you work, the nicer other people's lives become to get, like you look up and you're like, wow, like, damn, I got a new car. Like these things are starting to go good, Yeah, man, it's been good, but I did work. I did like a little, I did it for the last 2 years. So this would have been the third year. Usually I like to do like a 24-hour or something, like a live stream and give away something. So that's what I did. It was just a repeat. I made one live video and then I stacked the other videos up. You know what I mean?
Like, you weren't sat there talking shit.
No, not the whole time. No. For 17 minutes, I was live and then the rest was just recording. Yeah.
But it
looked like I was live all day, all night. Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, it was fun.
But Happy New Year, Paul Monday. And Gareth asks if that's a tank of water, Chris. What is that?
Well, they recently they started offering these a 3-gallon. So this is even less trips. It's all about speed. Like I try not when it's work time. I don't want to leave my station. I installed, the guys in my group know, but I installed a urinal. It's right there. I got my water. I got my jug. When it's work, I'm here. I don't mess around. It's all about speed. Even like when I go to dude, I buy the same unders. I buy the same shirts. I buy the same clothes. Like it's all like super, very efficient. I may have lost my mind. I don't know, but I try to keep things super fast, super easy. And it works for me.
Whatever works for you, Chris.
Yep.
Thing. But Gareth giving a nice tip there. Keep the empty one to piss in. So save yourself some money on the urinal. And yeah, that's pretty lazy, Chris. I'm not going to lie. Installing a urinal so that you don't have to move very far is pretty fucking damn lazy, man.
Well, I had to install it anyway in this section of the building. So I was like, why not right there in the bathroom? I just made the bathroom so when I walk out my office here, just poof right there.
Oh God.
It's got the door.
But Honey has the question. What kind of projects are you looking at for this year, Chris? E-com or what sort of stuff are you going to be dabbling in? I know you've got a lot of services and whatnot on chrispalmer.org, but are you going to just keep with that, or are you going to try and do a bit of something else?
Well, that, the white label side, I worked on this past year and we built up. This year is, I'm trying to get a client a week, one monthly client a week till the rest of the year. So they build the agency instead of white label. So that way they're both running together. Matt, I want to double down and focus. Now that business side is starting to pick up, I want to start doubling down. I didn't want to be an info gypsy. So I didn't want to just pump out stuff without flip. Like I run business and then I want to do the education. I own SEOtesters.com. So the tests that I've been doing for the last years, I'm going to launch that blog. I have search engine optimization tools.com. I have Sammy's working on launching the tools. I had a bunch of scripts, but we're putting it into a suite. So the tools, a blog, doubling down on the courses and the mini courses and the training and the masterminds, and then growing the agency. That's my objective for this year. That's what I'm working on. Yes, that's what I'm working on. And I'm giving myself a year. Every year I usually have big goals. Last year I reached my goals, expanded. I had a testing group. Great. We started getting that up. I held my own conference, got that done. Certain things I wanted to write a book, that went a little sideways, but I did it. I set the goal and I hit it. I set the goal and I hit it. That's it. Here's the target. Go for it. The targets are already been set. I wanted to quit chewing. I didn't quit totally, but I did switch. At least I'm not chewing, messing up my teeth, because I'm going to go and see that gentleman in Mexico and get implants. So it's just like fresh. Yeah. But I wanted to quit chewing first. And that's been going good. It's been 2 weeks, no dip. Pretty proud of myself.
No shakes, no.
I'm still intaking nicotine. It's just not chewing tobacco itself.
Yeah, that's fucking
big. And then I quit the soda and stuff. That wasn't a big thing.
That's the monster.
That's the next thing I was going to say was the intake of caffeine has to drastically decrease. That's a tough one though. That's tough for me. I mean, geez, like, damn, can I live? You know what I mean? I gotta live a little.
Yeah, of course. Can't cut it all out, dude. Definitely not.
What about you?
I kind of spent the last year consolidating things. I was involved in a lot more things than I had the time to be involved in.
That feels.
So I'd bitten off more than I could chew. So last year I was in kind of tidy up mode, if you want to call it that, just sorting things out. So this year I am getting involved in a few other new things. Hopefully one of them being a tool, and I think that's one big goal for me that I've never achieved in SEO. I've had an agency, I've done, client work, I've done affiliate, I've done lots of different things, but I've never had a tool I can call my own. So that's always been a goal of mine. So I'm not going to take on too much this year, because I still think I'm at capacity in terms of what I want to be involved in. Unless the opportunity is too good to refuse, then I need to learn to say no to certain opportunities. So it's just, before you're just like, yep. Yes,
I know, man.
And then you don't really do anything that well. Just you lack time. So we had a conference. I spoke at a lot of conferences. I had my fingers in a few different pies with different website projects, and before you know it, you're fucking fast running out of time. So
the year's gone. I know.
Yeah, you're just like, fuck. So I think yeah, so I've sorted a lot of the stuff out that I had to sort out, and so yeah, and I'm going to calm down with the conferences. I'm not going to do too many, so I want to spend more time making money. So that's it for me. So
I like that. You know,
I'm not
that's
going to say I've got 5 or 6 goals. I just want to get involved in a tool and keep everything else. Oh, I'm building a YouTube studio as well. So specific just so that I can walk
just
in
for
and
that.
record.
Yeah.
No fucking around.
I consider that's like a micro.
Yeah.
That's not like a bigger, right? Like, yeah.
I wanted it last year and I keep putting it off and putting it off. And there's nothing wrong with sitting here and all that stuff, but I want a dedicated studio and just rattle out videos fast.
Yeah. Like a green. Are you going to do a green room?
Nah, not a green screen. I'm just going to have the nice professional backdrop with some nice cool lights and get a couple of different camera angles.
Oh, they have just, I don't know if you know this. You know Hotboxing, that's Mike Tyson's.
Yeah.
Anyway, even Joe Rogan. So they like Hotboxing specifically, and Joe Rogan did it too. They have those. You basically call somebody and they set it all up, and then they have interchangeable backgrounds. Like you can make it look like, and then it looks authentic.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the company, but they always, you can see it on the brick in the older videos.
Yeah.
But dude, it's like a preset and everything's just perfect. You know what I'm saying? The lighting, the backgrounds, and then they have like these cardboard things that look authentic. It's not cardboard, it's like acrylic. And then you can set it up. So then I have wood, I have what, because you want to change your background.
Yeah.
But you want it to look good. Just an idea, you know. Because I thought about it too, but I was like, $8,000. What? I ain't paying that for no, you know. It's not cheap. In my opinion, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but
it's an investment. That's the other piece I forgot to mention. I got the technical side down finally with the IPs and the proxies, expanding on that as well. But I look at everything now as teams. Like, you know, like, okay, the tool, okay, have an idea. Here's the tools, the resources, and put a team around it. Okay, here's the next thing. Okay, we want to do the agency. All right, what's that take? All right, put a team around it. All right, I want to do white label. Okay, what's that take? Put a team around it. That's how I've been. And that's what's been successful. Because when I was trying to do everything myself, impossible.
That.
The team, dude, people, you make less, but then I have more time to have ideas, which is what wakes you up in the morning. Like, oh man, I have a goal. I'm excited. I want to do something. I want to make some money, right? That's what wakes you up. Because I didn't have anything to chase. Why would I wake up? Other than little Chris. I mean, that's fun. Because I would just go to the park all day, but I can't, you know.
Yeah. And also, happy birthday to little Chris. It was his birthday yesterday, was it?
Yep, the 2nd. Yep. We partied all weekend because it was the 1st. At Great Wolf Lodge, it's a resort. They have New Year. They call it New Year at the beach, but it's a water park at a resort. And they're open all night long. It's like a party for the adults, but it's at a water park. And it's kid friendly. So we did the party at the beach, which is really an indoor water park. That was sweet. But that was his birthday. We brought in the new year. We stayed there for 3 days, just balled out. We had a good time. I had a good time. But thank you. I'll tell him. I'll be like, hey, you know my buddy Craig? So he said happy birthday. I'll tell him.
But Fred Hunter, we need your insights to gain success in 2024 in SEO. What is the go-to strategy? Is it changing much this year, Chris, or how are you seeing things working out? I know there's been a lot of updates and a lot of fuckery with the algorithms, but
that's a good way to put it. I think at the end of the day, when you boil things down, simple, create content, build links, get people to those pages of content. The pages rise. That's it. Now, however you do those pieces, AI, bots, this, that, paid traffic, doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's content, links, get people to it. That's the only plan. How fast and how well you do that, that's a whole nother ballgame. You know, but that is the objective, at least for organic and SEO, which is what my focus is.
Yeah, I would agree, Fred. People talk about changing tact and doing this, that, and the next thing. I think do the basics properly. Those have always been the things that worked. How they're done slightly different, but double down on that stuff. And I don't think you go far wrong, mate.
And then that's where I see business owners, like that's where the difficulty begins. And then the lack of progress begins. Oh, there's AI. Next thing you know, a month has passed, but the project is still here. Like, yeah, you learn the AI and then that works. And then there's a new tool. Oh, and then, oh, there's an ads training. Oh, let's do the, like, if you just work on what you have, you know, that's the big thing. That's the big strategy, I think.
It is. I agree. And Happy New Year to you too, Randy. He finally made it.
Hey, Randy.
That is the same Randy that's on the link below. Just a little shout out for him. RPA, how to reverse negative ranking state. Tried PBN guest post, but it's not working after the October and November update. So how to reverse negative ranking state?
So algorithmic penalty, not a manual action that you would see showcased inside a search console. So you're having a negative effect. Google doesn't make mistakes, we do, right? So we need to go back. Well, what was done? Where is it? Where's the mistake? Is it the content? Is it the interlinking? Is it the links? What is it? The structure? Is it the site? Is it the intent of the pages? Is the stuff outdated? There's a, you know, we could go on for days, but what is the mistake? Right. And then oftentimes what I notice with business owners is they don't want to accept that there was a mistake by them. I do it, you know, but at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I did this. Damn. So go back. Where did you mess up? That's why, you know, that's the reason. And that's what I'd be looking for, my friend.
Yeah. Glenart is a service biz. He had loaded 15 or so products into our GMB, but Google disapproved them 3 months ago, and they'd been up for a year. Is there any way to get them back, Chris?
Products themselves, you can go back in and retry. I mean, they make their decision. Well, their algorithm makes the decision. So they didn't like that, you know, that doesn't mean I can't try again. As long as it's verified, vetted, valid, add it again. Maybe it could have been the image. It could have been the verbiage. It could have been you had too many outbound call links. Like, do learn more, you know, like try again. It'll go.
Happy New Year, Mr. Madge.
Great guy.
RPA, what do you think about Topical Authority by Corey?
Who?
Corey, the Turkish dude.
Never heard of him. I don't know.
Come on. Never heard of him.
Don't know him.
He's well known in the industry. So I'll answer at RPA. Topical Authority and everything that Corey talks about makes a lot of sense. You know, he's a very, very intelligent guy. You know, it is what it is. I think he's the kind of guy that reads all the Google patents or patents or whatever you're calling them. You know, he's really freaky into all of that stuff. And, you know, anything I've seen from Corey kind of makes a lot of sense. And I would say he's definitely a very smart guy and certainly someone in the industry who you should be listening to for sure. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Corey's work and nothing but good things to say. But Topical Authority, topical relevance, you know, all of these kind of things have been around for a while. You know, it's the way that you have to do things now. And you know, 10 years ago, maybe it wasn't as important, but Google are looking at that type of thing. So I think you do have to take it on board and try and work towards that. So that's, yeah, I can't really say any more than that. Maeve is still in shock over the urinal. Yeah, Maeve, I'm not sure I've recovered from that either.
I see this. I get myself some things. See, they told me when I started a long time ago that transparency is key, right? Sometimes maybe too far. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't really need to know that. Yeah, but it is what it is. I like it. You don't ask, you don't get with Chris. But Ogbonna, I'm planning to start my own business. I've worked in SEO for different companies and now want to run my own agency. I am good at some things, but I'm not great at selling. Can you give me some tips on how to find customers in 2024? So, Ogbonna, you don't necessarily have to be good at selling to run an agency. You can get someone who is good at selling to do that part for you. However, where do these leads come from? Someone needs something to sell. I think it's very difficult to sit and go on a phone and do cold calls. In this day and age, there's just that many of them that the response rate is pretty poor. But you can get someone to do video content. YouTube is a great place. LinkedIn, doing case studies on any social media platform is going to lure in potential customers, but you've got to kind of put yourself out there. If you're not great at selling, you might not be good at putting yourself out there. But I think you have to work around your weaknesses. I certainly have massive weaknesses in my business. Graphics and video editing are two things that I hate. Absolutely detest. I've got someone who do that for me, just because it would take me 10 hours to do something that would take them 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And I'm pulling the hair out my head trying to do it as well. So, you can build your business around your weaknesses, hire people who can do things that you can't. That is what business is. So I would recommend you go down that route. But how to acquire customers, dude, paid ads, Facebook ads, putting yourself out there, doing podcasts, getting to events, networking, local meetups, all of that. But anything else, Chris, that you can add to getting new customers?
No, I wish I would have doubled down on LinkedIn a little faster. But no, I mean, you touched on everything. I don't think there's any secret. I mean, somebody might sell you on the idea that there's some way, but I think most of the ways everybody knows. It's just time. And put, like, are you running ads? Do you have your site up? Are you ranking for the specific keywords that people are looking for? What niche are you targeting? Are you targeting those people on IG, LinkedIn, and Google? Are you doing YouTube? Are you doing YouTube ads? The pieces, it's probably within self-doubt. Like, oh man, like I can't do it. Did you start working on it yet? And nothing's going to happen like this. Like, they're not just going to start falling out of the sky, like, are the pieces in place? Are you trying yet? You might be, I don't know. But it generally, when I talk to people, they're like, oh man, how do you get clients or this or that? It's that they are getting clients and they have clients. They're just not coming fast or at the rate that they think that they should. But best wishes to you.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I wish I got a new client every day. I think my goal really fast at one a month, that meets qualified client.
Yeah.
One a month. Like somebody I like, yeah, this is going to be great. We're going to be a perfect mesh. but I want to pick that up to one a week, which is hard, very hard. So best wishes to you, brother. And if you find that secret technique, you let me know first, please.
Top reasons, Chris, for de-indexing and late indexing. Please elaborate a bit to avoid these. So do you see any reason for de-indexing, Chris? Do you see pages on your websites de-indexing randomly?
Well, okay. There will be times that there'll be sites, larger sites generally, where I'll look and I'll be like, wow, it was just number 8 yesterday, but then I'll go in and it won't be there. And depending on the time of day or when I'm searching, it can fluctuate. I've seen that. Completely de-indexing could be for a bazillion reasons, right? So I think that's common, especially as you get a larger site, right? As far as late indexing, that happens all the time, like all the time. Like it's like, oh man, these I create 50 pieces of content. These 20 took right away. Like, why aren't these taking? Or they're crawled, not indexed, but then you check the next day and all of them but 8 are in there. And you're like, the heck? That could be varying reasons. I wouldn't be overly concerned. That's just the nature of the game, right? So late indexing, not an issue. De-indexing, I would make sure that things are up to par. That can be a problem. No, that's it though.
Paul Foster, suggestion for Ogbonna. Agree, some discounted work with an agreement for a testimonial. Case studies always work, so a good suggestion there from Paul Foster. Gareth Boyd, do you think some guys overkill tier 2 links? I end up seeing them having to disavow the guest post they bought. Just to end up giving yourself a lot of snash. Yes, Gareth, if I'm being honest, I hear a lot of people saying, Craig, talk to me about your link building structure, and I'll be like, yeah, it's 5 guest posts and, some tier 2s and all that kind of stuff. Now, if I could get away with just 3 guest posts to an inner page in the fucker ranks, that's all I'm doing.
I would do it.
That's all I want to do. But I think a lot of people do tier 2 very aggressively, and they do it just so that they can tell their mates that they're doing tier 2 links. There's no people try and have this, strategy and to make it like they're doing more than they are, and it's an ego thing maybe. But yeah, they can smash it and burn, and then having to get rid of it, and why you give yourself that grief. So I do see a lot of people now, they hear about tier 2s being mentioned, they just go out and buy them. They don't really understand what they're doing, how much of them to buy, or why they're buying them. So yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Chris, do you see that a lot as well?
We started providing that to everyone except for our clients. And I noticed I had to have a few words with two people. This just happened specifically. So we offer a very low cost, guest post that we use for tier 2 only, right? And we sell 100, 200, 500, whatever it is, right? This guy bought 500 and pointed them at one guest post. And I was like, that is not the point of this, sir. Like, are you sure? Like, you get 500, go to your backlink profile, figure out where the lower equity stuff is that's not a privately held guest post. Power that up, not smash to oblivion. And then mind you, the domain that it was pointing to was already like a DR82. Like, it's like, dude, like, yeah. So be mindful. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have ran into that. But man, I don't crush, other than, directories, citations, some of the PR stuff, if it's on a high equity account, like a Yahoo or something. I mean, we're only sending like inserts or lower cost guest posts to our top tier, but it's in low amounts. When you're sending in tiers, are you crushing them? No, right? No way. Yeah, no. It cost me too much. I'm just looking to drive up the equity overall and keep that post indexed, really. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I don't go in there and just whack to oblivion. Maybe 10, depending on what the client is and what the needs are, but maybe at most 10.
But that guy that ordered 500 to the one
post, to one post, yeah.
Did he go ahead with it, or did
no? I talked them. I didn't talk them out. I just, here's what I would do, and here's why.
Yeah,
like, this is not like, hey, listen, I sell links. You do what you want, but here's why I wouldn't do this. But I don't do that for everyone. It's just because it was a new service and I thought it was odd. So I was like, dude, please, because then it would be my fault. You know what I mean? So I was like, wait a minute here. Yeah. But that happened twice. The other one, he bought much less, but I was just double verifying because, generally buyers will buy again as long as they get the result, because they're not buying a service, they're buying a result. So the objective is to ensure that they get that result first, because then they'll be a return buyer. So that's always you can't make everyone happy, but the people that I can, I want them to be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it, of course.
Yeah. Now, RPA has a question.
Sure.
For a big website, should we break the sitemap into 2 or 3 top priority pages with daily update and other pages with weekly for priority indexing? What do you think? Do you go down to that level, Chris, and play around with that?
If the site, if you have more than 1,000 pages, like on the bigger sites, yes. But not most of the gentlemen and ladies, business owners that come, they might have 100, 200 pages. I think if you want to, go for it. If you have the time and that's what you want to do. But generally, if I have a local business owner and they have a website, every page on that site technically is just as valuable as the next, unless it's privacy and I call them filler pages. Unless it's a filler page, all my pages are a priority.
Yeah.
The only way we break it down is when we have big sites, like we're targeting 38,000 cities, and some are like, I want these to have top crawl in LA and in Austin and these cities. But other than that, nah, not generally.
Hell with that.
Yeah, it's just too much.
But Maeve needs more information on this urinal. How close is it to your desk? Does it smell? Have you ever gone to the urinal whilst on YouTube? The whole admission has blown my mind.
Well, it's in a room, technically a room, and my daughter comes down here and does work with me, for me. So she keeps it tidy, so no, it doesn't smell. She's quite meticulous at these things. So she keeps it super tidy. There's like little air fresheners in there. And it's right in the wall's right there, and then there's a little room. It's like a little bathroom, but it's very close to my room, if that makes sense. See a little wall there?
It's close enough to smell the piss, though, right?
If for some odd reason, highly unlikely, it's nothing to click the button. It's funny.
But the most important question is, have you ever went to the urinal whilst on YouTube?
Have I stopped and went to the bathroom? Definitely.
Whilst you're on YouTube.
While I'm streaming, have I ever stopped and went to the lavatory?
Yeah.
Definitely. Just before, I'll be right back. Yes.
Fucking hell. There you go.
What? Dude, if I'm streaming and we're in a nice conversation and I'm having a lot of fun, I'll just be like, I'll be right back. Like, you don't know where I am.
Now we do. Now we do.
You know. That's funny.
Stigs or titties or whatever you're called is back. I just wish Santa didn't steal all the traffic to give it to you all. And Stiggs, my wife was sitting here watching my son play Spider-Man last night, and she left a box of After Eights.
Oh,
I can't keep my fucking hands off them, man.
done. They're done. Yeah.
So yeah, I've had
wait a minute. Another term. Every week you hit me with something new. So you call your desserts after eats?
No. After Eights, dude. No, that's a sweet.
Brand.
That's what this is called.
Oh, okay. I
No.
thought it was instead of a dessert, it's an after eats.
No. We call it dessert as well. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know. Scotland, like when I talked to little Chris, like that seems so far away, you know.
Gareth says Chris just nailed the whole thing in the head. By result, not the price. Kazra is here to see us. I watched Kazra today on a live stream, and I was WhatsApping him. Trying to put him off. Yeah. But,
hey, I need this. Oh, it's fun.
I'm leaving in your voice. Streaming while yellow streaming.
You guys love that.
Business growth ready.
I know that it'll be a short.
You big Jenny her. You big what? You big Jenny her. I don't know if I know
big
that.
Jenny or I don't know what that means.
The struggle is real. Wash it down with some iron brew. I would, Diggs, but I've kind of finished that bottle. So,
is that what is that? A soda of some sort?
Yeah. Scottish soda, dude. The next time I come to America, I'll bring you some just to try it.
No, it's not like Red Bull in the Philippines, is it?
No.
See, their Red Bull in the Philippines is served warm without carbonation. Not a fan. I was very sad. Very sad. But they have this other stuff called Stinger, which is excellent.
But anyway, easiest way or niche to make money using SEO. Is there such an easiest niche?
If it's easy, there's probably not money there. I just had this talk with somebody. Is there anything ever? If you know it, you probably won't tell me. But has there ever been anything easy that you made a bunch of money at? I never found that.
I mean, I've made money in bizarre niches that you wouldn't necessarily think of. I think my advice to Honey would be to try and find some untapped, well searched for stuff. That's the gold right there. But there's no such thing as the easiest niche to make money. You know, you could rattle off gardening, fucking, I don't know. There's tons of them. There's literally tons of them out there that people make a lot of money on. But obviously, the ones that make real money, like gambling and whatnot, is obviously considerably difficult. It's certainly not easy and requires a healthy. Hey, I like this. What Maeve said, new untapped niche. Best urinals.
That's an interesting. I don't know if everyone has that.
Dude, wouldn't it be good just to sit there and do a piss? Like just under your desk?
I don't know about in the office, but maybe. I do wish it was maybe a little closer. That would be nice. Yes. Because no. That's fun.
Kazra says I almost made him bust out laughing multiple times today. That used to always happen to me. I used to have a load of guys that would come in WhatsApping me while I was on live streams trying to fuck it all up for me, not realizing that I just turn my phone upside down and ignore it. So you should learn, Kazra. You should learn. What is a kip? heard it in the mastermind yesterday from Chris Kelly. A kip is a sleep or a nap or a siesta, as you guys might call it. Like, is that what you call it over there? The afternoon lay down for 1 hour type thing? What do you call that?
I've never heard of such things, but like a
Come
little
on,
nap.
dude, don't
No,
lie.
like a nap. Like me lay down in the middle of the day. Never.
Come on, other people do it though, right?
Oh yeah, take a little nap.
A nap.
nap.
Yeah, that's what we call it. Oh, a kip. Yeah, we call it a kip or a nap. But yeah, that's what a kip is, Darren. Got to educate the people in the local.
I hear that's good for you though. Like it would actually increase productivity.
Yeah, so they say, dude. But I wake up feeling like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I take a nap, it's either sleep or up. Like there's no, if I wake up, then I'm like dragging. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta stay up.
It's got a citrus hint, but better than Mountain Dew or Sprite. You'll love it, Chris. I think Chris would love the Iron Brew. I'm gonna put it to the test the next time I see Chris.
Iron Brew.
You need to remind me. Is he in here going on the mass pinger? It was funny, Chris. So someone in the mastermind asked if we still use mass pingers for he's big into mass page sites and all that stuff. And I says, what the fuck's a mass pinger? And someone said it was Mads Pingers, the SEO coach guy.
Yeah.
It was just really funny at the time. Mads Pingers. You had to be there. It was one of those.
Had to be there.
Had to be there kind of moments. But RPA, when you target any niche, let's say chauffeur service, competitors building 2-3 websites and ranking, what do you think about this strategy? Do you suggest this or only build a big brand rather than 2 or 3? I
have a client actively that's in the chauffeur niche in Melbourne, Australia. However, it's all, unless, hey, if you have the team, the budget, and the time to allocate towards multiple assets, sweet, go for it. But for the mass majority of people, the time, the money, the budget is better and well invested into one asset, one authoritative asset that I can dedicate time to and resources to. I think that's generally a better idea. But if you have the ability to scale and get more and take up more spots in the SERP and take the time that's required in order to be a winner, do it. Go for it.
I'll tell you a funny story. I had a mouse in my house last year. I had a hole in the floor in the bathroom and a mouse got in the house. And we were phoning round to the pest control, local pest control people.
Yep.
And so the wife's phoning round, and everyone's like, "No, I'm busy," or whatever. Oh, and we kept phoning. It kept being the same fucking guy that answered the phone. He's like, "Dude," he's like, "This is the third time you phoned me." Like, he's dominating like 3 of the top 5 spots in page 1, the dirty bastard. But
awesome.
Yeah, I spoke.
No wonder why he's busy.
Yeah.
Good problem to have. No, I can't now. Next week, good.
I think RPA, if you, like Chris says, if you can afford to do it, getting all of those calls potentially multiple times.
What a strategy. You take up the 5, the guys are calling, or the gals are calling. You talk to them again, and then you say, "Hey, I can do it right now, but it's $2,000. They're like, "All right, fine. Come on." Right? That's a nice little touche, mouse man.
How many mass pingers do you use to index pages? Iron Brew is currently listed as a banned substance by the US FDA, whoever the hell that is.
FDA, Food Drug Administration.
Fucking bastards. They don't know what they're missing. But
it was produced first by a chemical company. It's interesting.
I Am Brew.
Yep. In 1889. Unless I'm looking at something different.
Nah. 1901 they started.
IRNBRU Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Could be different because I see another one, Iron Brew. Is that a beer?
Nah. It's soda.
Oh, it's best sparkling flavored soft drink, a Scottish favorite.
Yeah. You like it, dude. You like soda, so.
Is it like cream soda?
No, dude, it doesn't taste the same. This doesn't taste like anything else that's out there. That's the thing.
Oh, really? Kind of like voodoo chips. It's special. It's delicious. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah,
I'm going to bring some if I'm allowed to get in the country.
Are you going to Arizona in April?
No.
Pass.
So I won't be there in April. I don't think. I maybe come at the last minute, but I don't think so. I'm trying to calm down the amount of traveling that I do. And Maeve, come on, man, that's racist. Iron Brew needs to go straight down Chris's urinal.
Jeez, you like that urinal? My well, God, I did that really fast too. I was impressed.
Slorry's here.
Mark, haven't seen you in a while. I like that picture at the time.
Really well happy if you're on a budget and can't afford the office toilet yet. I'm not Googling that, Mark, but yeah, I'm sure
you're well happy.
Yeah.
First Mark comes through. Hey, check this out.
He's always listening somewhere.
He's a good guy.
Honey, don't say that.
Oh, don't say that.
No.
Really early on, he gave me a interesting tip. I'll keep it to myself, but he's a clever gentleman.
So Honey is saying, I've seen so many websites in competitive rankings ranking well with a low DA or PA. I wonder why. What do you put that down to, Chris?
Well, low DA and PA, that's perfectly fine. I'd be interested to see what the category is or the niche or the SERP. However, I've seen lots of pages do very well, and they have, not that they don't have any links, but they have some type, but they have good structure, good depth of concept, good internal linking. Like they have a good site. It's well thought out. Like, and you have to always remember QDD. Like, how many times have you looked like I'm in a niche with a gentleman where we sell suits, right? It's Nordstrom's, it's Macy's, it's all big players, right? But a lot of times, like Gray Suit or this or that, our sites will pop. QDD, yeah. Query deserves diversity. So I see that a lot too. You know, it could be for a number of reasons. You couldn't pinpoint without seeing it, but I would venture to guess it's probably not some crazy. I never see any junk for truck accident lawyer, Austin, Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's probably some type of informational query, I would assume.
Trevor Thomas says hello. Hello, Trevor. Gareth Boyd, hole in the floor, mouse in the house, Craig the rapper. I'm a multi-talented man, Gareth.
I make beats in my spare time. So we might have something, Craig.
You never know.
Never know, man.
GM3, out of the on-page tools out there, any one you recommend out of the others, between things like Phrase, Pop, Cora, struggling to hammer down the best way to develop an actionable SOP with on-page. Now, I am going to say POP.
Yeah, but that new update. Kyle, brother, I love you, but please, please, dude, too much.
But what I would say is all of the tools are generally good. It's more of a habit that I've used POP for a long time, and I'm a creature of habit. Phrase is good, Cora's good, but I just like what I like, and POP is just a personal favorite of mine. They all do good things though. People prefer certain levels of data. Cora's for your Rain Man type character, who wants to dig deep into the data. I think POP is a little bit more user friendly, and Phrase is a nice interface, and it's great for pulling a content brief out. But I still prefer POP's actionable tips.
Still a great tool. It's been pulling back some interesting results for the LSIs. The report piece is slightly different. It's just different. You know how people get when stuff changes. But out of that lineup, Pop and Cora, definitely. We're moving more towards Cora, only because I think it's public. I think Kyle's moving on from Pop. So I don't know what's going on there. But Cora is sick. It's just, I wish it was faster. You know, but who can argue? I mean, Cora's great. I just wish it was faster. But I mean, hey, when you're pulling that many data points, what do you expect?
Yeah. Something you said there, Kyle's moving on from Pop.
Yeah, I think isn't that public? Or maybe I need to sit my lips.
What? He said it.
Oh no.
But there's sometimes you've just got to.
I just figured I'm sorry.
It might be public. I don't know. But Business Growth Ready looks after 70 plus limo sites. Needs a bucket load of numbers and addresses, I can imagine. But if anyone wants links from limo sites, there's your man. Sorry, RIP your inbox, Business Growth Ready. Suffer AI and Pop combination is also Suffer's a great tool as well. So, how much is the average monthly retainer to hire an SEO expert in 2024, and what results can you expect? So, this really differs from country to country, from expert to expert. Let me give you an example. Someone like Chris Palmer, 4 years ago, when I first met him, I mean, he's still charging too cheap. But you were charging ridiculously low prices, Chris.
Cheaper.
So, obviously, the more popular you become, the price goes up, and that's just how things go. But there are good guys out there who will do work for a good price. You've just got to dig deep. That is all I can really see on that. If you go for someone who's got a big brand and big reputation, it comes with a hefty price tag as well. What results to expect, that is the different thing. People who are tried and tested and big names and stuff tend to be there for a reason. They do charge top dollar, but you're likely to get better results. I'm not saying that every unknown quantity does bad work or whatever, but just be careful, because there are a lot of people who claim to do good SEO and the results are somewhat sketchy. So, but the price thing, I can't even give you a kind of average monthly retainer. It would be wild, really wild. But someone realistically ain't doing work for $200 and $300 and $400 a month. They really aren't.
Just how?
Yeah.
Even if it's AI content, like the time, hypothetically, I see those and I'm like, what do you get for $300 exactly? Sometimes I'm even just not, I'm not in the, accustomed to wasting money, but I would just be curious, like, what do I get for $300? But I see them all the time, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
It's all the time. Like, what are you doing for that? wow, that's crazy, dude. Even to begin with, like, I think the starting point, like, I never did anything for less than $5. And then still, like, that was just, and we were doing the bare minimum. Yeah, I think price also varies not only by where you're going and who you're going to, but category by category. The level of difficulty. Do I have to get a different writer? Can I use generalized? Can I use AI? What's the optimization? What's the process? Like, gee, dude, prices fluctuate. And price and value are two different things, Because I know agencies that are getting 15, the starting price is 15 grand, which is crazy. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's good advice. So, it's wild. It really is RPA. There's no real ballpark figure. Paul Foster is also looking for a ballpark figure to get traffic for a gambling site, card games. It's a new start project. What is a ballpark budget to get something like that up? Where would you start with a gambling website that's a new project? What kind of figures are we talking?
I knew a gentleman that had a crypto. Well, he has a lot of sites. 30. I think you might be able to, depending on what the game is. Like, you're looking for a hot game, okay, and then you're going to get a cut. It depends on who you're working with, because you're getting a cut on deposit, right? So it depends on what your cut is, and then it depends on the game. Generally, what I've seen successful is you'll get a hot game, and then you'll make a asset that it seems as though it's centralized around that game, and then you target that game.
Yeah.
And then you ride that wave in order to get the initial traffic. That's what I've seen work for at least the gentleman that I've seen. And then you offer the other things. But I think if you're really going to go for it, at least crypto and the stuff that I've seen, I think to start, bare minimum 30. No question.
When he says 30, he means $30,000.
Oh yeah, 30,000.
I think, I've had guys on board spending 10, 20, 30 on links alone for projects like that. So it can't be sizable, but not everyone's got that amount of money to invest. So you have to start somewhere and maybe go after easier keywords or whatever, because the important thing here is new startup project. I don't want to leave you feeling that you're going to be a failure before you've even started. Right. There's always a way. But you do need deep pockets in that niche. That is a fact. If you don't, you're probably always going to be pissing in the wind, just because everyone else is buying up everything under the sun.
Exactly. They buy everything, and that's the, because he said he's just starting. If you're just starting, I come to the table at 30 and then have at least 10 to 12 a month, and you will find success depending on which game you hit.
Yeah.
And then too, like, you'll see it over in the Indonesian market, you'll see those guys running over there. Like, see what they got starting to jump and then bring it to US.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's another important thing. Obviously, when it comes to that niche, certain countries are a hell of a lot easier than the US. I've operated in a fair few gambling ones, and certain countries are a lot easier than you think, and America is just really difficult. So good luck is all I can say with it, Paul. But hopefully that gives you some food for thought. Ursol, so we've got the last question of the day. Darren Muzzy is away. See you tomorrow, Chris, he says.
See you tomorrow, Darren.
Ursol, when you guys sell links, do you ever own the website you're placing it on, or just middleman all of the time? You would make more if you owned it. So a mixture of both for me, Ursol. I can't own every website under the sun, but I do own a lot of assets. was a big fan of PBNs back in the day and still have a lot of websites. And of course, owning it allows me a lot more control and all the money to go into my back pocket, which is important. Chris, what about you? You've got your own assets.
Yeah, I guess because we're at the end of, you can't own them all. So, but it's a mixture. I mean, I want to have as much control as possible. I'd rather make the sacrifice and the investment up front, because I hate those bills at the end of the month. It's like, man, we could have did that ourselves. But both. But I think no matter what, there's a level. Like, there's PR, citate. Like, we do as much as we possibly can, but there's a mix for sure.
And one final question, Chris. Is there a sink next to the urinal?
I'm not going to lie. There's not. There's not. I can't lie. I cannot tell a lie.
He's now like, you filthy bastard. Why you not get a fucking sink put in there along with the urinal? You went to
that's so funny.
Get a urinal in.
Here, I will say this. When the gentleman came and put it in, we do have the extension for that. But I never did that step. That step did not get done.
You're not exactly poor. Why not?
At that present time, well, because I purchased that and that wasn't even a concern. But when we put the piping in, we did set up for that. But that I never came back to it because I have my need filled.
I'm going to tell you a story here. In fact, do you use wet hand wipes or do you just...
I do have baby wipes.
Yeah, right. Because I was going to tell you a story about Mark Lawrence before we wrap up.
Baby wipes. That helps.
Mark Lawrence's wife says to him, he went for a piss and he came back out the toilet and she went, Mark, you didn't wash your fucking hands. He says, I don't pee in my hands. So that's a good answer.
That's... I often thought that to myself. Why do I wash them after and not before? I had that discussion a long time ago with my father. Like, if anything, I should wash them before. Like, that's just me though. I mean, hey.
Nave, sorry, we had to do this.
Sorry. Yes. You asked.
Yeah. But on that note, guys, we are out of time. Do check out. Because you have sync in the game. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Anyway, do check out 38 Digital Market. The link is below. Do check out chrispalmer.org and make sure you give us a like and subscribe on the channel. And we will see you guys at the same time next week. Oh, man.